Hi, this is our last lesson now on theme 6. So I thought I'd start with another picture from one of my favourite places. This is a place called Uig Sands in the Isle of Lewis. And again, this landscape is one of high-grade regionally metamorphosed rocks. We're seeing some really ancient gneiss and granite that makes up this whole landscape around this huge, spectacular beach. Anyway, we're looking to finish off the Theme 6 homework and what's in a word activities. So we're working on pages 11, 12, 13 and 15 of our Theme 6 booklets. Okay then, let's go. The first job we need to do is to describe some of these different metamorphic rocks. To give you something to help you revise from when we get to our exams in year 11. For each of the rocks that are shown, I'd like you to describe the texture. And these are the terms I want you to use. Can you identify whether they're foliated or non-foliated? Whether they've got new big crystals that have grown, making them porphyroblastic, or whether they're all the same size and therefore granoblastic. Okay, you should be able to use two of those terms for each of those rocks. For the second column, where you're asked for any other features, think about any new metamorphic minerals that have grown in these rocks. Which are they? What type of foliation, perhaps, can you recognise there? Perhaps most importantly, what type of metamorphism? Is it regional or is it contact? So have a go at those. You also have this flowchart, as we've done for the other types of rocks. You've got a list of words to use down at the bottom of page 13. Fill them in, cross them out when you use them. You use each word once. If you get some words like marble, for example, appears twice, then there'll be two places on this flowchart where you need to use that word. And finally, what's in a word? We're now geological experts on metamorphic rocks, so we should now have a really good definition for each of these terms. Read through your definitions, see if they fully make sense, see if they're detailed enough. If need be, go back in the theme and find yourself a good definition. If you've already got a good one, you can draw an arrow right the way across the table. Okay, so press pause now and have a go at that. Okay then, let's have a look at some of these answers. The descriptions we'll discuss in class if we need to. Or you can always contact me to find if you've got any questions about that. Let's have a look though at the flowchart. So, metamorphic rocks formed by their changing texture and composition. And that process we call metamorphism. Okay. That happens as a result of usually heat and pressure. Hot fluids isn't something we really talk about too much at GCSE, but usually these happen at depth. Two types of metamorphism that we classify, which can be contact metamorphism or regional metamorphism. Contact metamorphism can form marble or metaquartzite, depending on the country rock that's being metamorphosed. Regional metamorphism will form rocks like slate or schist. Now, if we think about the classification, metamorphic rocks can be classified by texture. So it could be foliated or non-foliated. Examples of that would be gneiss is a foliated rock, or marble, which is a non-foliated rock. The mineral content that we find in these rocks, they're determined by the time that it takes for metamorphism to occur, the heat that the rocks are subject to, or the parent rock material. Okay, let's have a look at what's in the word. An agent is the factor that actually causes metamorphism. So that's going to be heat and pressure. Okay, those are the two key ones, certainly at GCSE, that we need to understand. So the agent is either heat or pressure, or a combination of the two. An aureole is the zone of metamorphic rocks, or zone of contact metamorphic rocks, around an igneous intrusion. So it's the zone of rocks that have been altered by the heat from that pluton. Contact metamorphism then is metamorphism that's a result of heat from magma. So it's high heat, low pressure metamorphism. And that gets greater the closer to the contact with the magma. Foliation is an alignment of minerals in a metamorphic rock that occurs as a result of high pressure. And that could be cleavage in a slate, schistosity in a schist, or banding in a gneiss. Metamorphism is the alteration of the texture and composition of the rock because of heat and or pressure. Recrystallization is where we get the growth of minerals as a result of heat during metamorphism. And in metamorphism, this happens as the minerals are solid. They're not liquids. In this particular rock, we have large crystals, porphyroblasts of garnet that's grown within this schist. So these reddy brown crystals with the straight edges are garnets that formed by solid state recrystallization during metamorphism. Regional metamorphism is metamorphism caused by deep burial. So we get heat and pressure happening together. This map of Scotland shows where the regional metamorphic zones can be found. Okay, that brings us to the end of theme 6. We should now have a good understanding of what metamorphic rocks are and how they form. That also brings us to the end of learning about the rocks that we need to know. What we need to start doing in subsequent themes is think about applying our understanding of rocks to understanding how the Earth works. And to do that, we're going to start by looking at probably one of the most important ideas in geology, plate tectonics. But that's for another lesson. I'll see you then.